You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Coming up, it's primary election season and... I'm sorry, it makes it sound like duck season and rabbit season. We're going to take a look at yesterday's races in Oklahoma, as well as some national races that could give insight into November's matchups.
Oh, wow. All right. And we also take a look at a new documentary that gives a rare look at a life in a Polish town just before the Holocaust.
And we are watching a slightly warmer day that's in store for us today. We're going to talk about that and some upcoming rain chances coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Jalen Banks. Voters in New York and Florida went to the polls yesterday for key primary elections, and they may have signaled which issues will be the most important in November. Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
In Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis ran unopposed, but with all eyes on him as a possible challenger to former President Trump to be the Republican presidential nominee in 2024.
Put on the full armor of God and take a stand against the left schemes. Stand firm for truth.
Former Governor Charlie Crist, once a Republican, will be his Democratic challenger in November.
Our fundamental freedoms are literally on the ballot, my friends. A woman's right to choose on the ballot. Democracy on the ballot. Your rights as minorities are on this ballot.
In New York, a newly drawn 12th congressional district pitted 2 longtime Democratic representatives against each other. Congressman Jerry Nadler defeated Carolyn Maloney, his colleague in Congress for the last 30 years.
This district does not belong to me or to my opponents for that matter. It belongs only to the voters of this district. Those New Yorkers get to choose who best represents the people and values of this city.
And a special election in a New York swing district showed the role abortion may play in November. Republican Mark Molinaro was defeated by Democrat Pat Ryan, who made abortion rights central in his campaign. His victory is offering some hope to Democrats heading into November, when many have predicted a GOP landslide. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
And back to Florida, Representative Val Demings, a former Orlando police chief, won the Democratic primary. She'll take on Republican incumbent Mark Rubio. The November general election is now just 76 days away. And closer to home, the votes determine Oklahoma candidates appearing on the November ballot are in. Oklahoma voters decided runoff elections on Tuesday in cases where no candidate got more than 50% of the primary vote. We begin with the Republican nomination for United States Senator, the seat held by retiring Senator Jim Inhofe. 2 loyalists of former President Donald Trump is on the ballot. Markwayne Mullin defeats T.W. Shannon. 2 Democrats face off in Oklahoma's other U.S. Senate race. Cybersecurity expert Madison Horn defeats attorney Jason Bollinger. Horn will face incumbent Republican Senator James Lankford in November. In the race for Mullin's open U.S. House seat in eastern Oklahoma, former state Senator Josh Breachin defeats state rep Avery Fricks for the Republican nomination. And you can go to our website and KOAM News app to see the rest of the results for the Oklahoma primary runoff election at KOAMnews.com/elections. Students and community gathered at the Oval on Pittsburgh State University's campus on Tuesday, so students could connect with local businesses and vice versa. A local bookstore owner says last year she connected with a student at her booth and they are still working together. The student became her house artist and has been selling his art in the bookstore. She says the art prices match with what she has in the store.
Pieces that really were representative of what we had going on at the store at the time. And so it's really kind of almost like a little bit of a collaborative relationship too.
You can find a link to the bookstore and art on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. And coming up later in the show, our own Yana Haldala takes us to PSU for a closer look at this story. And no need to waffle over what to eat. Have a waffle. Today marks National Waffle Day because it was August 24th, way back in 1869, that the first waffle iron was patented. But the breakfast treat was around for hundreds of years before that. The first known recipe dates back to the 14th century. An anonymous husband in France wrote it out for his wife. In those days, waffle batter included wine to make a waffle, and all you need is leavened batter or dough, or 2 pattern plates to cook it. Or hit up your favorite brunch spot, maybe add fried chicken as well. You can find deals today at a Waffle House, or just have some Eggo frozen waffles.
So I was at Sam's Club yesterday. I haven't been in years, and you can get like 400 waffles for $10. So if you have a Sam's Club membership, now's the time. Today is the day to go out there and pick up your 400 waffles. I've got 3 kids, and they could probably go through 400 waffles in a couple of days.
Yeah, in short time.
Yeah, waffles just, food just doesn't last long when you got children that are continuously growing continuously hungry.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't help when I'm continuously hungry either. I have no idea how my wife keeps up with all the food in the house because we've only got the one refrigerator.
$10, good investment.
$10 is a good investment for 400,000 waffles or whatever it was that was in that box. I mean, I get it, it's bulk, but holy cow, that's a lot of waffles. So, hey. Anyway, waffle day! Get out there and eat a waffle. You gonna eat a waffle?
Oh, come on, Chris. You know me. Big breakfast guy.
Let's go get some waffles after the show. Let's go get some waffles right now. We'll see you guys later. We're gonna get some of those waffles right now. Sorry, I'm just kidding. We don't have waffles here at the station.
All right.
I'm a little disappointed by that, but that's all right. I'm going to tell you what happened on this day in weather history. Man, I'm telling you, for the last week and a half now, hurricanes have been the theme. But this is actually the event that sparked my interest in weather. Because, and this is how identities get stolen, but that's all right. My middle name is Andrew. So now you know what we're talking about. Back in 1992, Hurricane Andrew, packing winds of 156 miles an hour and gusts up to 175, came ashore in southern Florida near Homestead. It killed 15 people, left $25 billion in damage. Hurricane Andrew is what initially sparked my interest in weather. And then it just grew from there. Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear in our area. You got to go pretty far south to find any precipitation, but that isn't going to be the case much longer. 7th range line, look at this sunrise. The cloud moved into just the right spot so the sun's not blowing out this image. Really beautiful skies right now and absolutely gorgeous temperatures to match. 65 in the city of Joplin as we start the day. 60s across the board, starting to warm up a bit. 62 Fredonia, 66 in Chanute, 66 in Columbus and Neosho and Anderson and Cassville as well. So a very pleasant start for an August day. As we go through the rest of the day, we're looking at highs around 89 degrees, 84 by noon, 87 by 5, partly cloudy skies, maybe a couple of lower 90s on there. Overnight low tonight of 64, 73 by 11, 69 by 2 a.m. under clear skies. Still watching scattered thunderstorm chances this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. 90 on Saturday, 94 on Sunday. Don't cancel your weekend plans just yet, but you definitely want to keep an eye on the forecast as we get closer to the weekend. We'll talk more weather a little bit later as well.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Chris. And up next, a new study suggests a lack of sleep in teens could lead to obesity as well as other health issues.
And later, Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton star in a new movie. It's 3,000 years in the making. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
In Health Watch this morning, researchers zero in on a daily habit for older adults that could prolong their life. And one important reason why teenagers need a full 8 hours of sleep. Ashton Martinez takes a look at some of today's top health stories.
Teenagers who sleep less than 8 hours a night are more likely to be overweight or obese compared to their peers who sleep 8 hours or more. That's according to Spanish researchers who also find people who sleep less have elevated blood pressure, abnormal glucose levels, and excess fat around the middle. Another study finds people who are sleep deprived are less likely to help others. California researchers say insufficient shut-eye is associated with reduced activity in the part of the brain that regulates pro-social behavior, such as sharing. And walking 10 minutes a day is associated with greater longevity in people aged 85 and older, according to a South Korean study. Researchers tracked about 7,000 octogenarians and found those who walked daily or did more vigorous exercise lowered their risk of death by about 40%. Those are some of today's top health stories. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Chris, are you getting your 8 hours?
I'm getting better at getting 8 hours. When I switched to mornings, it became a bit more difficult, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, I try my best to get my 8 hours, but sometimes in this industry,
Yeah, when breaking news happens or you need to fill in somewhere, you don't always get that 8 hours. You get maybe 2 or 3, so it happens.
We strongly encourage that you guys go out, or go home at least, and get your 8 hours.
Yeah, and if you need an afternoon nap, today's a great day for it. Partly cloudy skies, 89 for the high, and getting warming through the 80s through the day under those, again, partly cloudy skies. Going into tonight, skies clear out, 64 for an overnight low, 73 by 11, 69 by 2 a.m. And this weekend, we are watching scattered thunderstorm chances both Saturday and Sunday. 90 on Saturday, 94 on Sunday, and a check of the 7-day forecast shows us first off tomorrow, 93, 94 on Friday. Then the rain chances build in, and they stick with us through the start of the next work week. But I guess the one good thing is they're keeping the temperatures right about where they should be for this time of year, and we'll take that over triple digits any day. More of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 coming your way. All right, a check of the forecast for you real quick this morning. Look at that sunrise. I love the mornings because we get some absolutely beautiful sunrises, and that one is gorgeous. And we have temperatures that match how beautiful it is. 65 in Joplin right now with a calm breeze. We got 60s across the area, 62 Fredonia, 66 Chanute, 63 in Parsons, 65 in Carthage, and 66 in Neosho. As we go through the rest of the day, we're going to warm up nicely. We're talking an afternoon high about 89 with maybe couple of 90-degree temperatures spattered in there as well. 84 by noon, 87 by 5, and 82 by 8. Skies clear out tonight, which will be quite nice. Temperatures dropping back to 64 for an overnight low, and they'll get there gradually as the night progresses. 73 by 11 and 69 by 2 a.m. Watching those scattered thunderstorm chances both Saturday and Sunday, 90 and 94. Don't necessarily cancel your plans. Just be aware of the forecast. We're going to take a look at it on the future track. So as we go through today, of course, we're going to warm up. It's going to be pretty nice. We head into tomorrow. It's going to warm up a bit more, 93. Still pretty nice. And as we head into Friday, 94, but you see the building clouds, you see the building rain around us. As we head into Saturday, that's where it starts to rain on us. We've got scattered thunderstorm chances across the whole area Saturday evening, and that pattern repeats again by Sunday evening. More shower and thunderstorm chances begin to build into the area. The nice thing is heat index values are almost non-existent. Yeah, they're going to be maybe a degree or 2 above the actual temperature, but that's a lot better than, say, 5 to 10 degrees above the actual temperature as we head into the weekend. So you can see Saturday, it's a bit muggier because we have the incoming rain, so heat index values are a few degrees above the actual air temperature, but still manageable. Okay, 93 Thursday, 94 Friday, and then we head into the weekend. We get those scattered storm chances, and they do 2 things. One, they last with us through the start of the next work week, and they keep the temperatures in check. These temperatures are actually where they should be for this time of year, but you can see we have a couple of mild nights ahead of us with those lows getting into the lower 70s as we head into the weekend. Director George Miller has given us movies ranging from the Mad Max franchise to the family films Babe and Happy Feet. Now he's back with a fantastical tale starring Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton. David Daniel talked with the stars about the film.
My name is Alethea. My story is true.
3,000 Years of Longing is a story about storytelling as Tilda Swinton's academic encounters Idris Elba's Jinn.
So, what will you wish for? What is your heart's desire?
But she claims to be utterly content, and as a scholar of story and mythology, she's suspicious of the apparition.
There's no story about wishing that is not a cautionary tale.
For his part, the Jinn seems desperate to learn and grant her wishes.
There is no human, no angel, no jinn that wouldn't grasp at the chance to fulfill their deepest longings, and I am saddled with the one who claims to want nothing at all. Alethea Binney, you are a liar!
You know, I am beginning to wish we'd never met.
No! Don't say that!
And so we just kept pulling the threads of these 2 people and tried to get away from this potential for a fairy tale stereotype.
To convince her, he spins tales of the events over millennia that led him to her.
Yeah, no, I think that was one of the big challenges and one of the big intrigues about playing this character, because I wanted to avoid any sort of trope or stereotype or version that we may have seen. We all have desires, even if they remain hidden from us. But it is your story, and I cannot wait to see where it goes.
Oh, how it might end.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now that looks like an absolutely fascinating movie, one I'm going to have to check out. 3,000 Years of Longing opens in theaters this Friday, so I think I know what I'm doing this Friday. All right, let's recap that forecast for you in case you missed it in the first part of this, or we're very distracted by this incredible looking movie that you may have forgotten what it looked like. 89 is the high we're pushing for today, maybe some lower 90s out there. 84 by noon, 87 by 5, 82 by 8 under partly cloudy skies. Now, those skies will clear out as we head into the overnight, with an overnight low dropping back to about 64 degrees, 73 by 11, 69 by 2 a.m., and then we'll reach that overnight low early tomorrow morning. And again, those scattered thunderstorm chances Saturday and Sunday. That's still going to be seasonable. 90 on Saturday, 94 on Sunday. We'll have partly cloudy skies otherwise. You don't necessarily want to cancel your plans. It's like last weekend. It's hit and miss. Like the family and I, we all still went to Ernefest down in Freistadt because it was scattered storms. It didn't rain us out. In fact, Freistadt didn't get any rain until later that night. So don't cancel your plans, just be weather aware. You can see those scattered thunderstorm chances once we skip ahead a bit in the future tracks. We go through today into tomorrow, 93 for tomorrow under partly cloudy skies, 94 on Friday, partly cloudy skies, and then Saturday those storm chances really start to build in, and they'll stick with us through Sunday. As a matter of fact, on the 7-day forecast, they actually stick with us through the start of the next work week, but they do keep the temperatures seasonable for this time of year. A couple of mild nights as we head into the weekend as well. More of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 is headed your way.
It's time to honor today's Four-State hero, James Hendrickson. Captain Hendrickson served in the Navy from 1940 to 1945, and then in the Army from 1950 to 1967. He served in the South Pacific, Korea, and Vietnam. During his service, he earned the World War II Service Medal and 2 Good Conduct Medals, and the Korean War Service Medal, among several others. We thank you today's Four-State hero, James Hendrickson.
A remarkable documentary diving deeply into a few fragments of film from more than 80 years ago to tell stories that have been all but forgotten.
And now David Daniel has a look at the story.
3 minutes of life were taken out of the flow of time.
In 1938, the population of the small Polish town of Nieszelce included 3,000 Jews. All that remains of them is a few minutes of 16mm home movies, preserved and explored in the documentary 3 Minutes, a Lengthening.
It's not that it shows important people or an important town in any sort of larger sense, but it is the only record of these people.
I learned from my aunt that he had only purchased the camera in June of 1938, the month before they set off on this trip.
Glenn Kurtz's grandfather shot the film.
The film by David Kurtz was found and restored just before it would have been lost forever due to damage and decay.
It's rare to have footage from that time from a small town, and even more rare that it is in a large part in color.
Director Bianca Stichter dissects the footage, going frame by frame to glean everything possible about a community that would soon be destroyed by the Nazis.
My main goal was to let that images live, not cut them off, but to give them space to really be seen.
That's what we're trying to do, is sort of draw this line between what can be remembered and can be preserved and the enormous magnitude of what was lost.
By defining the loss of that world, we might succeed in keeping the memory alive.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Okay. 3 Minutes, a Lengthening expands to theaters in 15 major U.S. markets this Friday.
I always found documentaries to be absolutely fascinating, and this one certainly looks to be one that you need to see one way or another.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and check it out.
Because as they mentioned, it documents members of a town that was destroyed by the Nazis, and it's remarkable to be able to have any kind of footage like that at all.
Absolutely. Well, another half hours of news and weather is just ahead. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14, our own Yana Haldala comes to PSU and takes us to get a look at how students are going to learn more about clubs and local businesses.
And Will Smith has done battle with everything from aliens to dating advice, but the internet is talking about his latest battle with that guy there. It's a spider. Ooh. Jeannie Moose has the creepy crawly details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back.
Most Watched News starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29, and let's take a look at today's top stories. The growing use of the opioid fentanyl is the topic of a meeting in Pittsburgh. On Tuesday, Senator Roger Marshall, the Crawford County Sheriff's Department, and Southeast Kansas health officials discussed ideas on how to combat what some are calling a fentanyl crisis in Kansas. The senator's office says Kansas saw an increase of 54% in overdoses during the first 6 months of 2021 compared to the same time period in 2020.
It's getting worse every day. We want to get here and share the message that just taking even one half of a pill can kill. So with school starting up, we're trying to get the message out across the state how dangerous fentanyl is.
All of Crawford County Sheriff's Department has Narcan nasal spray. It's a medicine they can use to treat someone suffering from ill effects of fentanyl. The Independence Police Department is also training officers on how to help people with cognitive disorders. The department's Take Me Home program will help officers assist someone whose cognitive disorder prevents them from telling where they live or who is responsible for them. The program started in 2017 and has since improved the interactions between the community and the police department.
It's a great resource because it's a real fear for families to realize suddenly that a member is missing. And it gets even more complicated when that person doesn't communicate or is nonverbal.
The program is free and open to Independence residents. Arvis Bank in Joplin announces a new credit card design for blind and low vision customers. The card will have features written in Braille, such as the cardholder's name, number, expiration date, and security code. Arvis also offers Braille account statements and ATMs.
For the younger ones in the organization, I would kind of see that as something that would probably we could pick up on and would be very instrumental to them, you know, when they're shopping and that kind of thing.
Arvis says customers can receive a new Braille card at any branch location or by calling them. Students at PSU got the opportunity to meet the community and learn more about clubs at the university. KOAM's Yana Haldala took a visit to Pitt State and the community fair and has more on that.
Local businesses and groups gathered on the Oval to meet with PSU students. New and older students were excited to meet new people and get free things from the booths.
You can have snacks here, t-shirts. Snacks are the best part, yeah.
A senior emphasizes the importance of this event, where she also met with different clubs the past few years.
I think it's important to have the different businesses and available resources to kind of make themselves known to students, especially to first-time students who might not even know about all this happening right now.
They are trying to have a conversation with us, so it's very good, yeah. I'm trying to get to the people, yeah.
The fair is a great way for students to get to know some businesses around here. Some students have developed some connections that last for a long time. A local bookstore owner has good experience from the fair. She gained a great connection who she is still working with.
Met last year at this fair, and he has been sort of our house artist, our artist in residence, if you will.
A PSU student saw the possibility to partner with a local business.
He just came up and just introduced himself to me, and he said he has, you know, he's an artist and he had his card, and I checked out his work on Instagram, and I think he stopped by the store maybe like a week later, and we just got to talking.
With the connection, the business owner gained a great friendship as well.
Pieces that really were representative of what we had going on at the store at the time, and so it's really kind of almost like a little bit of a collaborative relationship too.
In Pittsburgh, Yana Haldala, KOAM News.
You can find more on this story by going to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. The severe drought in Texas has uncovered a little piece of history. Dinosaur tracks from about 113 million years ago can be seen in a dried out river in Dinosaur Valley State Park. A park official says these tracks likely came from an Arachnosaurus, which weighed 7 tons and reached 15 feet tall. The tracks in Dinosaur Valley State Park are expected to be covered up again with river water as local forecasters are calling for rain. Park officials say that is a good thing because the water helps protect the prints from natural weathering and erosion.
Talk about an Absolutely fascinating find for sure to be able to see those old dino tracks. I mean, think of how old those are.
What was fascinating was the name. I got to go back and get that down.
Yeah, there's some interesting dinosaur names out there for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Real quick check of the forecast. As you can see, the sun's coming up and it's going to shape up to be a pretty beautiful day. 65 in Joplin right now with a calm wind. We are in the 60s across the board. We got 63 for Donia, 62 Fort Scott, 65 in Nevada, and 64 down in Neosho. And as we go through the day, temperatures are going to warm up to about 89 degrees for an afternoon high, maybe a couple of lower 90s on there as well. And then this is what it looks like as we go through the day. Partly cloudy, 84 at noon, 87 by 5, and 82 by 8 o'clock tonight. Skies will clear out tonight, giving us an overnight low of 64 degrees, so not bad. 73 by 11, 69 by 2 a.m., and we'll reach that overnight low as we start the day. And we're watching scattered thunderstorm chances this weekend, 90 on Saturday, 94 on Sunday. You don't necessarily need to cancel your plans. Just keep an eye to the sky and monitor the forecast. And, of course, we'll keep you updated here on KOAM throughout the week. Well, this morning, but never mind, I'm skipping ahead. We're going to tell you about that later. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. This morning, we're discussing boldly going to space. NASA launched the James Webb Telescope back in December of 2021 with the goal of reaching areas of space the reliable Hubble just couldn't. Now, in just a little over a month, the Webb Telescope has sent back photos that far surpassed any expectations. Some of the most stunning examples have come from photographs of the planet Jupiter, revealing, among other things, the planet's northern and southern lights, as well as the Great Red Spot, a massive 400-year-old storm. Future images promise to stoke the imagination, and as commercial space travel becomes a reality, it's no surprise that we're seeing a renewed interest in the wonders of space. So our question to you, as things got a little more economical, would you travel to space? You can vote yes or no. So far, it's becoming almost an even split. 55% of you say you certainly would, 45% of you say you wouldn't. You can vote through our website, the app, and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. Actor Will Smith has posted his encounter with a tarantula on Instagram, and spider experts are praising the kind way he handled the really big arachnid. Jeannie Moose reports.
It was one of Will Smith's first social media posts since the infamous slap. Will crawled back on Instagram with a creepy crawly video.
The whole hell. That is a big ass spider.
So big, Will retreated.
I'm up on the chair.
Will told his 29-year-old son, Trey, to deal with it and got this look.
You're young and strong. You can handle the bite.
Will has faced bigger arachnids.
He has an 80-foot tarantula.
But that was in a movie. This was in his house in Los Angeles County. Their technique got a rave review from an actual arachnologist.
I would say a 10. They didn't kill it.
I guess we should be happy that he didn't just slap it silly.
I would have been very, very disturbed.
So Will Smith treats spiders better than he treats Chris Rock, read one tweet. We know what this critter wasn't.
Itsy bitsy spider.
This was big and hairy, a tarantula.
When I hear tarantula, I say run for the hills. Was that dangerous?
No, most tarantulas are actually not dangerous at all.
Arachnologist Eileen Hebbett says the bite of North American tarantulas tends to be no worse than a wasp sting. Their main defense is all those barbed hairs on their butts.
Basically fling these hairs at a predator.
That's what we're dealing with. We're selling the house.
No, he should not sell his house.
Spiders in glass houses shouldn't throw hairs. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
At this point, I don't know which was scarier, the spider or the JJ song. I've only heard every single one of those about 100 times in the last few years. Which is scarier? For parents, might be the JJ song. For everybody else, it's probably that spider. You know what's not too scary? Our forecast. It's actually looking really good. 7th and range line looking really good. We are 65 to start the day. Skies are already beginning to clear out. We may still see some partly cloudy skies later. Decent temperatures across the board. 66 Chanute, 65 in Parsons, 65 in Neosho, 64 in Cassville. As we go through the day, afternoon highs are going to reach about 89 degrees, maybe a couple of lower 90s on there as well. 84 by noon, 87 by 5, 82 by 8 o'clock tonight. Any clouds that we do get today are going to clear out tonight, leaving us with an overnight low of 64, 73 by 11, 69 by 2. We'll reach that overnight low early tomorrow morning. We are still watching those scattered thunderstorm chances Saturday and Sunday. 90 on Saturday, 94 on Sunday. You don't need to cancel your plans, but you definitely want to keep an eye right here to KOAM and the Skywatch weather team, as we'll keep you updated on what the weekend holds. So let's talk about it on the future track. Friday it warms up. We have the clouds start to build in, and by the time we get into Saturday evening, afternoon and evening, thunderstorm chances start to build in, and they'll hang out with us all the way into Sunday. So it still gets hot, 94 as we mentioned, but we still have those scattered thunderstorms hanging around. And when we look at the 7-day forecast, you can see, first off, 93 tomorrow, again, 94 Friday, and then those thunderstorm chances actually hang on with us through the start of the next work week. But the nice thing is they actually keep temperatures seasonable with a couple of 2 or 3 mild nights as we head into next week. More of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 coming your way.
In Consumer Watch this morning, Snapchat users in Illinois could be eligible for some money. Snap Inc., Snapchat's parent company, has agreed to pay $35 million to settle a class action lawsuit. The plaintiffs accuse Snapchat of using its photo filters to scan a person's facial features and collect biometric data without consent. That's a violation of Illinois' Biometric Information Privacy Act. An Illinois resident who used the feature between November 17, 2015 and now could be eligible for part of the settlement, but they could have to submit a claim by November 5th. The settlement still needs to be approved by a district court. Yelp is working to make it easier for women looking for abortion services to find them. The digital review company is introducing a new label that distinguishes something known as crisis pregnancy centers. These are organizations that try to convince women not to terminate pregnancies. Such pages will now carry a note reading, provide limited medical services, and may not have licensed medical professionals on site. Yelp says its new system will help distinguish crisis and faith-based pregnancy centers from medical health care providers. The company periodically recategorizes its businesses and has done so with nearly 470 of them this year, with plans to review more than 55,000 of its pages. Apple is helping do-it-yourself fix computer issues. The computer giant's self-service repair will be available Wednesday for MacBook Air and MacBook Pro notebooks. A support website has been set up for customers to get repair manuals, genuine Apple parts, and tools from the Apple Self-Service Repair Store. Apple says the self-service program is an attempt to expand access to repairs. Earlier this year, Apple launched a similar repair store for the iPhone. And we'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Well, Chris, there's been an amazing discovery along the Missouri River, a fossil of what appears to be a 90-million-year-old fish.
That is an old fish. An Elkhorn man found the fossil while he was in a fishing tournament.
Oh, wow. Laura Samble shows us this once-in-a-lifetime find.
Fishing is probably the most important thing in my life besides my family.
Andy Moore and fishing go hand in hand.
It's not all about catching the fish. For me, it's the process, the adventure, being outside, the sunrises, the sunsets, the sounds, just everything about fishing is me.
Now Moore might go down in history not for the biggest catch, but for his amazing discovery. 2 weekends ago, Moore was fishing in a tournament along the Missouri River just west of Yankton, South Dakota. At first, he wasn't doing very well.
I pitched my jig and it's horrible. I'm way left. I'm like, oh man.
Moore had snagged the back of a rock and couldn't get it off his line. So he paddled his kayak up to the rock and took a look.
And I get up to it and I'm like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. You know, I thought it was a big catfish skeleton or a deer skeleton, you know, and something told me to take a picture of it.
Later, Moore posted the pictures online. Within minutes, texts and phone calls started flooding in.
He's like, dude, did you know that's a 90-million-year-old fossil that's in that picture? I'm like, what?
Moore wanted to go back and get the rock, but taking anything from the Missouri riverbed is illegal. So he contacted a biologist with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They went back out and found the rock using the coordinates from pictures on Moore's cell phone.
The geologist guy saw it, and he's like, he just jumps out of the boat in his boots, you know, he goes up to it, he's like, oh my God, you know.
The biologist confirmed with Channel 6 that the fossil does appear to be that of a prehistoric predator fish up to 90 million years old.
How freaking cool is this? You know, like I just caught something 90 million years ago that has never been seen by a human eye, let alone never been caught by an angler, a modern day angler.
As for the tournament, Moore didn't do as well as he would have liked, but this time he's off the hook.
I wasn't there to win the tournament. I was there to find that fossil. I mean, hands down.
Man, what a cool story.
That's an incredible find. I mean, talk about something just absolutely fascinating.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, we've talked about dinosaur tracks of 100 million years plus, and now 90 million year old fish fossil.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, that fossil is going to be on display at the Lewis and Clark Visitor Center on the Nebraska side. Quick check of your forecast. So here we go. It's a beautiful day. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. And we've got temperatures to match like we've had the last few mornings. 65 degrees under, as you can see, mostly sunny skies. Across the area, temperatures are in the 60s. It's looking pretty darn good across the area. 63 Yates Center, 65 in Iola, and 67 in Pittsburgh as we start the day. Now, as we go through the day, it's going to warm up. We're at partly cloudy skies, 89 for an afternoon high, 84 by noon, 87 by 5, 82 by 8. Skies clear out again overnight, giving us a low of 64 degrees, 73 at 11, 69 by 2 a.m., reaching that overnight low early tomorrow morning. Watching those scattered thunderstorm chances both Saturday and Sunday. So don't cancel your plans. These are scattered, but you definitely want to keep an eye on the forecast. We'll take a quick look at what that looks like on the future track. So heading down the road, we've got our nice temperatures today. We're looking at a high of about 93 tomorrow. We're going to have a high of, again, 94 on Friday, and then it's when we head into Saturday that you see those scattered shower and thunderstorm chances really start to build in by the evening. And they hang with us through Sunday and make another return Sunday evening, but not before it warms up again to about 94. And on the 7-day forecast, you can see 93 tomorrow, 94 Friday, as we mentioned. Rain chances build in, and they stick with us through the start of the upcoming work week. And the nice thing that they do is they keep the temperatures seasonable. We have more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. New details have emerged about the classified materials that were stored at Mar-a-Lago. A letter from the National Archives says more than 700 pages of sensitive documents were retrieved in January of this year from former President Trump's home, including some that came from the CIA, the National Security Agency, and the FBI. Congressman Charlie Crist is the Democrats' choice to challenge Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in November. Crist is seeking re-election to the office he held from 2007 to 2011, when he was still a registered Republican. Florida Democrats also nominated Congresswoman Val Demings to run against Senator Mark Rubio. And today, President Biden is expected to make an announcement about federal student loan relief. The president is reportedly considering a plan that would forgive up to $10,000 in loans for borrowers below a certain income level.
As we go through today, it is going to be a nice warm one, 89 for an afternoon high under partly cloudy skies, 84 at noon, 87 at 5, and 82 by 8 o'clock tonight. Tonight's overnight low under clear skies, 64. Got 73 by 11, 69 by 2 a.m., and reaching that overnight low by early tomorrow morning. And a quick check of the weekend forecast. We're still watching scattered showers and thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. They are scattered, so don't cancel your plans just yet, but do keep an eye on the forecast. On the 7-day, you can see tomorrow, 93, 94 on Friday under partly cloudy skies. Rain chances build in. They hang with us through the end of the work week, or the start of the work week, rather. And the one nice thing that they're really doing for us is they are keeping our temperatures seasonable for this time of year. So certainly beats the triple digits we had about a month ago. So not bad, not bad.
Not bad at all. Well, Chris, not good news for the Wolverines. It turns out a prized possession in the University of Michigan library is a fake.
A one-page manuscript was believed to have been written by Galileo between 1609 and 1610, but Georgia State University professor Nick Wilding had reached out to the school in May, doubting the work's authenticity. He noted issues with the watermark and provenance. After re-examining the work, the University of Michigan agreed with Wilding's assessment. They concluded the manuscript is a 20th century fake by prolific Italian forger Tobia Nicotra. In 1934, Nicotra was sentenced to 2 years in jail and a hefty fine for forging documents, including the ones by Galileo. That's not good news at all.
Man, that's
really stinks.
that's no fun at all.
Not in the slightest. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather today at noon.
And have a great morning and an even better day. We'll see you.